60,000 Afghan Americans live here in Northern California, around Little Kabul in Fremont, California. The most Afghans in one place outside of Kabul in Afghanistan. Many of them refugees, many in traditional Afghan dress, living as they did in Afghanistan, speaking Pashto and Dari. Many on their phones talking with loved ones back in Afghanistan, 8,000 miles from here, terrified for their families whose lives are now controlled by the Taliban. One of the lucky few to have just made it out of Afghanistan here to Fremont is this refugee Abdul and his family, just arriving to this small apartment provided by the International Rescue Committee. Abdul earned a special immigration visa as a translator for the U.S. military, who says he faced certain death at the hands of the Taliban. And he wasn't the only one. The U.S. government reports as many as 4,000 translators were trapped in Afghanistan weeks after the Taliban returned to power. Among those translators are two of Abdul's brothers, with no way out from Taliban control.
So I have an elder brother, he's a translator, and he's also very worried about himself and his family. He has got 4 kids. And my younger brother, he's also married. He's also worried about their lives and his wife and his family. We have seen that so many people have been killed for this reason, that you guys have been working for the United States government, so they're killing them.
So many translators' lives in jeopardy that the nonprofit Afghan Coalition in Northern California and its executive director, Rona Popal, are constantly Zoom conferencing with Afghans in Afghanistan, often to ask about the well-being of translators who haven't made it out of there.
But unfortunately, some of the translators right now, they cannot even leave Afghanistan because of the situation. They're supposed to leave Afghanistan and then apply for the visa, SIV visa, but now they are stuck. They can be killed, yes.
Many here are saying that as Afghan Americans, they feel they're being ignored and have been forgotten on the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. Rona Popal says in many ways Afghan Americans here feel invisible.
I think we all Afghans are invisible in the United States. As I always says, we are here physically, but our soul is in Afghanistan. And especially after what's happening right now in Afghanistan, most of us very disappointed, very much upset. To see our family members, to see our Afghans are in a very bad shape. They left alone. What's happening in Afghanistan is a crime against humanity. And who caused it is international community, because they left Afghanistan without any plan. They left the people alone with all those promises that they made for our people, that we're gonna build your country, we're gonna build you a good government system. Unfortunately, none of them came true.
Still, she says the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks leaves Afghan Americans anguished and mourning the 3,000 victims who lost their lives that day.
What September 11 happened, and we all were against it.
Condemning what happened to the United States, she says, particularly after this country has given so many Afghan Americans a second chance in life.
And we are really proud to be here, to be Afghan Americans, because we learned here, we educated here, we started a good life here, and they gave us an opportunity here.
Though 20 years after the September 11th attacks, She says hostile and discriminatory behavior directed at Afghan Americans still exists.
And it's still going on. After September 11, we had a lot of discrimination on the streets. You are Osama bin Laden, or you're a family of Osama bin Laden. And that's why our community was kind of really under pressure.
She says discrimination, coupled with the stress of worrying about loved ones in Afghanistan, has created a mental health crisis among Afghan Americans.
They really was alone, isolated. Especially our people are coming from PTSD. They are coming with lots of problems.
This Afghan American family in Fremont asked us to conceal their faces, fearing the Taliban might harm their families in Afghanistan. The mother of this family say her daughters is under acute stress.
Yes, of course, it's really affected her, like emotionally, mentally, physically. I just feel like there's no one that's really there, like, to listen to us or like hear us crying.
The young women say they are still frequently called terrorists.
Why is people calling us terrorists? You know, when we're not even the one who's like doing it. You know, just because of one bad person doesn't mean the whole group of people are bad. You know, we're not terrorists.
At school, in middle school, when I was at school, this guy will always call me a terrorist, and they will he will do this as him throwing a bomb, and it's just sad because why do we get treated that way?
They say the 20th anniversary of September 11th stirs up many emotions.
We're obviously going to be sad about it because those people didn't deserve what they got, and it's going to be sad for everyone, but in Afghanistan, a lot of people die every single day, but they don't get the same attention that the other people do because people pick and choose who they want to support and what they want to support. Afghanistan doesn't get the support that it needs. And it's just really heartbreaking. I just want my family to be safe here with us, my uncles, my grandma. I don't want to lose another uncle. I don't want to lose my grandma. I don't want to lose my aunts. I don't want to lose my cousins. This does affect us mentally and physically, especially this past few months. Me, my whole siblings, my parents, we have not been mentally okay because of everything that's been going on. We watch the news every day and we see what happens to the people that are in Afghanistan, our people, all these killings.
She says as a child growing up in Afghanistan, she witnessed a young mother murdered right before her eyes.
I seen a woman get killed right in front of us. We were at my auntie's house. Out of all the people that was there, she was the one that got killed. Obviously traumatizing, and it's gonna stay with me for the rest of my life. So it's just like why is this happening to innocent people?
Afghan refugee Abdul says it's a bit surreal to be in the U.S. now. He was just 8 years old, he says, in Afghanistan 20 years ago when the September 11th attacks went down.
When I saw those buildings fall down, every person gets very, we can't express how it is bad because there are so many people in that building and it falls down because of some terrorists.
Abdul says the U.S. military that he would work for as a translator did the best it could in Afghanistan over the last 20 years.
And when the United States troops come to Afghanistan, 20 years in Afghanistan, there was peace. The people were living, they had their businesses, the schools, the universities, everything was good. So suddenly everything's, is unfortunately, going to bad again.
But there are many Afghans who, they say the United States is abandoning Afghanistan and they're angry at the United States.
I think that the United States is not obligated to stay there for always, It's on us to build our country.
Tell me about your daughter.
When I see her, she makes me happy. She makes me to forget everything about the past.
Abdul says he likes his new home here in Fremont, California, presently telling an Afghan neighbor a TV crew has come to tell their story.
Laughing.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you, sir.
I like the people around here. It's a very nice and peaceful place.
Afghanistan kebab. #1.
The anniversary of September 11th for Abdul has him pondering his family's fate in Afghanistan.
I knew that if I get my visa, I will left my family behind. So that makes me very nervous.
Abdul's family, meanwhile, is trapped back in Afghanistan. His parents, he says, as he said goodbye to them, sent him here to the United States with some sweets and nuts from their village to remember them by.
These are the nuts that I brought from Afghanistan.
Unsure when they might see him again.
These are all gifts given from my family to me, so I can have it with me for a while.
Uncertain what the years ahead will bring.
We are human beings, so we sometimes feel very hopeless when we left our loving ones behind. And it's difficult that when we cannot help them.
I mean, we were lucky enough to leave Afghanistan, but we left our home behind, we left our people behind, we left our family behind. And now I just feel like if my family is not safe, it doesn't make me feel safe. They should be able to experience life and have the things that we do. We are not better than any of them there. And I just want this to stop. I don't want people to hurt our country anymore.